Think Costco saves you money? Not if you're a senior buying these. Some of these deals could be draining your wallet, your health, or worse. These are the 11 Costco products seniors should never buy. And wait till you hear number 1. 11. Kirkland water cases. At first glance, grabbing a 40-bottle case of Kirkland water at Costco for under $10 feels like a no-brainer. It looks like value. But let's stop and really think, who's lifting that case? Seniors walking through those Costco aisles don't realize each one weighs over 44 pounds. That's heavier than a carry-on suitcase. One wrong movement getting it into the trunk or up a staircase and what seemed like a deal turns into a trip to urgent care. A retired teacher told us she injured her back just trying to load one into her car and ended up spending more on medical bills than she saved. That's the kind of hidden cost nobody talks about. You're not just paying with dollars, you're paying with your body. And as we get older, our recovery time slows down. What used to be a mild strain in your 30s can knock you off your feet for a week in your 70s. So let me ask you, is it really worth saving $3 if it leaves you in pain for days? Costco may offer bulk deals, but that doesn't mean every product is safe or smart for seniors. Sometimes, the real price is written in soreness, not stickers. Think about it this way. If your purchase puts you at risk before you even get it into your house, is it really a good deal? This isn't about criticizing Costco. It's about protecting people who deserve better. If you're shopping for your parents, your grandparents, or even yourself, don't let a tempting price tag blind you to the physical toll. There's a smarter, safer way to stay hydrated. And we're just getting started because item 10, that one affects what ends up on your dinner plate and in your trash. 10. Family pack raw chicken trays. Costco's bulk chicken packs look like a budget win. At first, you see that slightly lower per pound price and think, I'm saving money. But here's the catch. Unless you're freezing and portioning that meat the moment you get home, odds are you'll end up throwing a good chunk of it in the trash. And let's be honest, how many seniors have the energy or freezer space to prep several pounds of raw chicken after navigating a massive warehouse? After 45 minutes of walking those long aisles, the last thing anyone wants is a kitchen project waiting at home. We heard from a viewer who said it best, I thought I was being smart, but I threw away more than I ever cooked. That's not just wasted food. That's wasted money. And if you've ever opened your fridge and found that slimy, foul-smelling tray of chicken you meant to portion tomorrow, you know exactly how it feels. There's no savings in spoiled meat. It's not just about food waste, it's the frustration, the guilt, and the mental load of watching your hard-earned dollars rot away. Let me ask you, when was the last time bulk meat actually made your life easier? For seniors especially, convenience needs to be real, not a chore dressed as a discount. A smaller package might cost more upfront, but it could save you from stress, mess, and unnecessary waste. And guess what? We're only scratching the surface. The next item isn't just inconvenient. It's a money pit hiding in a pretty package. Stay with me. Pre-cut fruit and bagged salads. Walk through Costco's produce section, and it's easy to get pulled in by the bright colors, the sleek packaging, and the idea that pre-cut means convenience. It feels like you're making a healthy choice, especially for seniors trying to eat clean without the hassle. But here's the truth. Those bagged salads and fruit trays are ticking time bombs. They rot faster than you think. You're often paying twice the price for something that lasts half as long. And there's nothing worse than opening a $12 salad only to find wilted greens and slimy cucumbers staring back at you. It's not just a waste of money, it's an emotional letdown. You feel like you did the right thing. You bought the healthy option. But 2 days later, you're throwing it all in the garbage. And this happens more often than you think. We heard from a senior who called it paying for disappointment in a bag, and she's right. That convenience comes at a cost. And for those on a fixed income, it's a cost that stacks up week after week. Every spoiled salad is a missed meal, a lost dollar, and a growing frustration. So here's the question. Are we buying nutrition or just buying trash that hasn't turned yet? For many seniors, the better choice is whole produce. It lasts longer, it's often cheaper, and you control the freshness. Yes, it takes a little prep, but that 10 minutes of slicing could save you days of regret. Up next, item 8 may look like the perfect snack until you realize most of it ends up in the trash too, and not for the reason you think. 8. Giant bags of nuts. Costco makes it look like a steal, $17 for a jumbo bag of mixed nuts that could last you all month. But let me ask you something. How often does it actually last that long before the smell changes and the flavor turns bitter? Nuts, especially those rich in natural oils, go rancid fast once the bag's opened. That's a chemical reality, not a matter of opinion. We heard from a senior couple who got excited about the value, ate a few handfuls the first week, then tossed the rest when it started smelling like an old pantry. That's money in the trash, and a lesson learned. And here's the worst part. It doesn't look spoiled. You might keep eating without realizing the flavor's off, and that bitterness? It's the oils turning. Not dangerous, but definitely unpleasant. And seniors, who often shop less frequently, are the most vulnerable to this trap. You think, I'll snack on these slowly. But slow snacking and big bags don't mix. Unless you're hosting a Super Bowl party every weekend, odds are you're not finishing that bag before it betrays you. So here's the takeaway. Bulk isn't always better, especially when freshness has a clock ticking the moment you break the seal. A smaller bag might cost more per ounce, but if you actually finish it, you save. You get the taste, the nutrition, and none of the waste. Think about it. What good is a bargain if half of it ends up stale, sour, and tossed? And believe it or not, item 7 is even worse, because this one molds right on your counter, whether you touch it or not. 7. Bakery multi-packs of bread. There's nothing like the smell of fresh bread, and Costco's bakery section knows exactly how to lure you in. 3 loaves for under $8? It feels like a cozy, carb-loaded dream. But here's the wake-up call. Unless you freeze those extra loaves the minute you get home, mold will beat you to the punch. We've heard it over and over. People buy the bundle, eat 1 loaf, then watch the others turn green before the week's out. That deal quickly turns into frustration and waste sitting right on your kitchen counter. And let's be real, freezing bread isn't second nature for everyone. Some don't have the space. Others forget until it's too late. Mold doesn't wait. It spreads silently and quickly, and by the time you notice it, you're dumping the whole thing, along with the money you thought you were saving. It's heartbreaking when what was supposed to feed you ends up feeding the trash. You deserve better than overpriced disappointment wrapped in plastic wrap and good intentions. So here's a gut check question. How much bread do you really eat in a week? If it's 1 loaf, buy 1 loaf. That's not being cheap, that's being smart. Grocery stores thrive on making you feel like more is better. But in reality, more often means more waste. And we're just warming up. If this is helping you avoid costly mistakes, do us a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to Frugal Daily. We drop new videos every week to help smart shoppers like you save money without falling for retail traps. No hype. No fluff. Just real advice that actually helps. All right, let's get back to the list. 6. Cooking oils in gallon jugs. Buying oil in bulk at Costco feels like a win, especially when you're eyeing that price per ounce. But unless you're deep frying daily or feeding a full family every night, a gallon jug of oil is a ticking time bomb. The moment you open it, the countdown begins. Exposure to light, heat, and air starts breaking it down, especially with oils like avocado, olive, or canola. One viewer from Arizona put it best. My avocado oil started smelling like crayons. Never again. That's not just unpleasant, it's rancid. And it turns your home-cooked meals into greasy regret. Let's talk real life. Most seniors aren't running a restaurant. You're cooking for 1, maybe 2. That oil bottle sits in the cabinet for months, maybe a year. And here's what stores won't tell you. Old oil doesn't just taste off. It can mess with your digestion, coat your food in bitterness, and even affect cholesterol when the chemical structure starts to break down. So now you're not just wasting money, you're messing with your health too. Is that bulk bottle worth the gamble? Here's the smarter move. Buy smaller bottles, use them while they're fresh, and actually enjoy your meals. Saving 30 cents per ounce means nothing if you toss half the jug, or worse, unknowingly cook with something that's already gone bad. Ask yourself this. Would you drink expired milk just because it was cheap? Then why cook with expired oil? And stick around, because item 5 might be hiding in your pantry right now, losing its power without you even knowing. 5. Oversized spice containers. At first glance, those big Costco spice containers seem like a smart move. You think, why not get more for less? But here's the kicker. Spices don't last forever. They fade. They lose punch. That giant 12-ounce jar of paprika? By the time you're halfway through, it's nothing more than colorful dust. It still looks the same, but it doesn't taste the same. And that's the trap. You think you're seasoning your food, but what you're really doing is adding nothing. No flavor, no aroma, just a false sense of confidence. This hits even harder for seniors, who often cook smaller portions and less frequently. How many meals do you actually make that use cumin, or coriander, or turmeric by the tablespoon? The truth is, most of us don't need bulk spices. We need fresh spices. One viewer told us, "I kept wondering why my chili didn't taste the same anymore. Turns out, my chili powder was older than my car." That $4 deal cost her months of bland dinners. And let's not forget, spice quality directly affects your meals. No flavor, no joy in eating. And that matters. So ask yourself, when was the last time you used a full bottle of paprika? Or that mega-size oregano? If it's been sitting in your cabinet longer than your last vacation, it's probably past its prime. Smaller jars may seem pricier, but you're getting power, not powder. Coming up next, we're going from dusty shelves to oversized breakfast boxes, because item 4 is fooling families every single day. 4. Double boxes of cereal. There's something satisfying about tossing a giant double pack of cereal into your Costco cart. Feels like you're getting ahead, right? More food, fewer trips to the store. But let's be honest, how often does that second bag stay fresh until you actually open it? For most seniors, by the time you finish the first, the second has gone soft, stale, or worse. That crispy sweet crunch turns into a chewy disappointment. And suddenly, that deal doesn't feel so smart anymore. It feels like breakfast regret in a box. But it's not just about texture. Here's the real concern. A lot of those cereals are loaded with hidden sugars and sodium. Some of them pack more salt than a bag of chips and more sugar than a dessert. And for seniors trying to watch their blood pressure, manage diabetes, or simply eat clean, that innocent-looking breakfast bowl becomes a silent saboteur. One viewer called it Costco-sized guilt in a cardboard box. A clever line, but also painfully true. You think you're starting the day right, but your body tells a different story. So here's a moment of reflection. Is the savings worth it if you're not even enjoying or finishing what you bought? Wouldn't it be better to buy a smaller box, enjoy it while it's still crisp, and actually feel good about what you're eating? Quantity doesn't always mean quality. And coming up next, we're moving from breakfast to the kitchen itself. 3. Huge cookware sets. You walk through Costco, spot that 15-piece cookware set for under $200 and think, this is it. I'll finally upgrade my kitchen. It's shiny, it's complete, and it feels like you're getting a professional setup for a bargain. But here's the reality. Most people, especially seniors, end up using the same 2 or 3 pans over and over. The rest? They get pushed to the back of the cabinet, gathering dust and taking up space. That's not an upgrade. That's a $200 lesson in overbuying. And the emotional toll? It's real. Every time you open that cabinet and see the untouched stock pot or oddly shaped sauté pan, you're reminded of what could have been. A viewer said it best, "I use 2 pans. The rest collect dust and regret is expensive." For many seniors, storage space is limited, and bending over or reaching into deep cabinets gets harder with age. Why fill those shelves with pots you'll never use, when all you need is one skillet and a solid saucepan? So here's the smarter move. Buy what you actually cook with. If you're not making 5-course meals every week, you don't need a full arsenal. Quality beats quantity, especially in the kitchen. And speaking of heavy lifting, item 2 could literally send you to the hospital if you're not careful. Let's talk about the deal that's risking your back. 2. Pet food and cat litter bags. At first glance, those giant 40-pound bags of pet food and cat litter at Costco seem like the ultimate money saver. You're getting more for less, right? But here's the truth no one talks about. Lifting that kind of weight is no small feat, especially for seniors. One wrong move pulling it from the cart or twisting the wrong way to load it into your trunk and you're not just sore, you're injured. One of our subscribers said it plain. "I dropped a bag and nearly took out my hip. That litter almost sent me to the ER." That's not a bargain. That's a risk. It's easy to underestimate how dangerous these heavy products can be. For seniors dealing with arthritis, lower back pain, or reduced mobility, a single lift can lead to weeks of recovery. And what are you really saving? A few bucks per pound? That won't mean much if you're spending hundreds on physical therapy, pain meds, or even hospital visits. Costco may be about bulk, but bulk without safety is a gamble. And in this case, the house always wins. So here's the question. Would you rather save $10 or avoid a trip to the emergency room? Smaller bags may seem like a worse deal on paper, but they're safer, easier to store, and won't leave you icing your shoulder at the end of the day. When it comes to pet supplies, the real cost isn't on the price tag, it's on your body. And now we've come to the final item. The one product nearly every senior has bought, but few realize just how dangerous it can be. Let's talk about the chicken that everyone loves, but might be hurting you more than helping. 1. Costco Rotisserie Chicken. It's the most famous deal in the whole warehouse. That golden, perfectly seasoned $4.99 rotisserie chicken, juicy, hot, and ready to eat. For many seniors, it feels like a lifesaver. No cooking, no cleanup, and dinner for days. But here's the uncomfortable truth buried in the label. Each serving packs over 460 milligrams of sodium. And that's not counting the sides or the extra bite you sneak after dinner. For seniors managing blood pressure, heart conditions, or kidney health, this cheap chicken could quietly become your most expensive mistake. Think about it. We're taught to look at price tags but not ingredient labels. And Costco knows that. They bank on us seeing the deal, not the details. But sodium doesn't care about price. It builds up silently day after day. One viewer told us, "It tasted like comfort until my doctor told me it was the reason my blood pressure spiked." That's the hidden cost. It's not on your receipt, it's in your health stats. And when you're on fixed income, a health scare can drain your wallet faster than any impulse buy. So let me ask you, is saving $5 today worth risking your health tomorrow? There are better protein options, better convenience meals, ones that don't come with a hidden load of salt and regret. The Costco rotisserie chicken is iconic, but it's not innocent. For seniors especially, the smartest savings aren't at the checkout line. They're in every bite you take. And now that we've reached the end of the list, let's pull it all together. Because what's really at stake here goes beyond any receipt. That's the list. Now you know what to avoid at Costco. But don't stop here. If you shop at Walmart too, you need to see this next video. 12 Walmart items employees say you should never buy. What they reveal might change the way you shop forever. Tap it now, don't miss it.